Ladies and gentlemen, KageKaze here, taking a look at the latest god to enter the Smite fray. We are looking at Chronos, the Keeper of Time, coming with two skins, the original and, of course, the Time Lord. Sorry, no blue police box to be found. Well, he changes up the game significantly, so we're going to take a look at him before we go into game, because he's got quite a bit going for him that really changes gameplay up for him. So, Chronos starts with a passive called the Wheel of Time. The Wheel of Time is always spinning for you. It's always spinning for Chronos. It's no different. Depending upon where the wheel is, when you activate Accelerate, it provides a different benefit to Chronos. So, Accelerate is your number 2 ability, and it gives you a buff to your attack speed and movement speed. When you activate it, you also get a secondary buff. You're going to see a little wheel that appears in the bottom left. And when you activate Accelerate, it locks it into one of 4 quadrants, the north, south, east, or west. Section 1 is the north, and then it goes clockwise, with Section 2 being east, 3 being south, 4 being west. So Section 1 heals you for about 1.5% maximum health per second. Accelerate lasts for 8 seconds. So you're looking about 12% of your life healed over time. It's not a massive amount, but it's a great amount for sustain. So you can sit in your lane. If you've taken a little bit of damage, you can go ahead and use it. It helps for early rounds. Later on, you'll start taking enough damage to where you're probably not going to worry about healing yourself through this, but it's a great starting. Section 2 is also a great starting section. It's 75% mana refund on abilities. So if you want a god that's great at sustaining a lane, then Chronos is definitely it. Chronos is in fact the closest this game has to an auto attack magical god, next to, say, Freya, because Chronos will do most of his damage through his auto attacks. Now, once you get past the early game, you'll be moving on to sections 3 and 4. Section 4, most of all, depending upon how you build, though. Section 3 will give you 20% additional magical power. Because Chronos has a magical auto attack, much like a lot of the newer gods, this will also benefit your auto attack, but it's mostly going to benefit your special abilities like Time Rift and Time Stop, which we'll get to in a little bit here. However, if you're going to go for auto attack, you want to go straight for Section 4, which is 35% magical power contribution to basic attacks. That is pretty massive, getting 30% of your magical power in your attacks, and that will help you to chase down and do damage to some gods. Now, his first ability is pretty basic. This is Time Rift. The closest thing I could really equate Chronos to is a combination of Hebo, Isis, and Zeus. Hebo for his poke, Isis for her stun, and Zeus for his movement speed. So to start the comparisons, we have Time Rift. This is equivalent to Hebo's poke. You create a rift in time, it damages enemies in the area. It's a small circular area, and as you can see, it does up to 260 damage with 85% magical contribution. So it hits pretty hard, and it's a 5-second cooldown. So much like Hebo, you can do a lot of damage in quick succession, and a cooldown build can get that even lower, so you'll be attacking with it frequently. Now, the difference between Time Rift and Hebo's Water Spout is that there is a slight delay when you activate Time Rift before it goes off, and the enemy can see this, so they can know you're trying to attack them and they have a chance to get out of the way. It also doesn't have any kind of knock-up capabilities. Your second ability is Accelerate. Chronos accelerates himself over time, allowing him to move faster initially and gain more speed over time. While active, your attack speed is increased and he's not affected by attacking movement speed debuff. It also stops the Wheel of Time, as we talked about before on his passive. So this is basically giving you a free Fatalis. It's really great for getting your attack speed up, allowing you to move, allowing you to escape. This is an ability that is kind of a combination of Zeus's movement speed and Isis's Gust of Wind. You basically cast on yourself, you can move quickly, you can run backwards quickly, you get a 20% initial movement speed, which is fairly new, this was patched in, and you also gain up to a 30% movement speed over 8 seconds. So it ramps up. You'll start at the 20% and then you'll go all the way up to about 50% at maximum level. Your attack speed, as far as I can tell, does not ramp up. It gets the bonus right away, so you'll have the 40% attack speed immediately at maximum level for 8 seconds, but your movement speed does have to ramp up, so you'll want to make sure you start in early, and then you'll be able to chase as you go down. 15-second cooldown. So as you can see, Chronos very quick on his abilities, and cooldown builds will really help you. In fact, when you have a maximum cooldown build, with Accelerate being 15 seconds, you'll bring this down to about needing 1 or 2 seconds between accelerates. So if you really want to go for that attack speed and really want to chase, this is a great god for cooldown builds. Moving on to Stop Time. This is another ability that reminds me of Isis. You basically shoot forward spinning gears of time. Any enemies that are hit by it are slowed to a stop, and they take damage on the initial hit and then on the final part where they get stunned. It doesn't say how much time it takes here, but I've noticed it takes about 1 second. I believe it's 1 or 2 seconds before they stun. And so it does do damage twice. You'll see it does 110 plus 40. It does it the first time, and then it does it the second time. So it will hit twice. So it does a bit more damage than it really looks like here. And the stun is only for 1 second. It's a lot like Isis's stun ball, but it's a little easier to hit with because it's got a nice wide area, and you don't have to detonate it. It's got a pretty good lane clearance, actually. It will be a lane clearer near late game when you get the damage up. The beautiful thing about it is you can combine it with other stuns easily. So you take, for example, a freeze stun combo. Let's say Ymir freezes somebody and then Thor tries to do a stun. With the freeze stun combo, if Thor uses his stun too early, it basically overlaps with the freeze, and therefore you kind of lose it. With Stop Time, you can hit it, and the initial hit won't stun them. It waits for a moment. So you can hit them a little earlier, and then when they break out of the first freeze or stun, you'll have a second stun on them. So it's very nice to combine with them. And the best part of all is it has an innate slow. So when you hit an enemy with it at first, they'll move a little bit slower, then they're stunned. So you've got kind of a dual debuff thing going on there, but the slow is only for about a second and the stun is only for about a second, so you have to make sure you set that up just right. Now lastly, the most interesting ultimate in the game so far that I've seen, and one that takes a little bit of planning. This is Rewind. Chronos will travel backwards in time to where he was 8 seconds ago. He will gain his health and mana back to the values that they were at that time. That means that if you were low on health and you healed yourself up and then you use it, you're going to go back to the lower values. However, if you're moving forward and you've just taken a whole bunch of damage, let's say you just lost 90% of your hit points in a second, you can use Rewind, get them all back. The reason why this is dangerous is because the enemy can track where you were 8 seconds ago. You can also end up putting yourself in a bad position. I've seen Chronoses die because they rewound themselves back into a tower. So you want to be very careful and try and keep an eye out on where you've been for 8 seconds. As a general rule, 8 seconds is about 2 revolutions of the Wheel of Time. So if you watch the Wheel of Time in the lower left-hand corner spin, and you see it spin through twice, that's your 8-second point. This is a great ability for tower diving. You can move in and assault enemy gods, and you can do a lot of damage and then rewind to get out of the damage yourself. So you'll see there is some really nice stuff here. Now, the bonus to rewind as you're leveling it up is only cooldown related. The health and mana is always the same, and you're always going back 8 seconds. The only thing you're getting with putting levels into this is cooldown. As you can see, it goes from 120 seconds down to 80 seconds. This also means that it's a great benefit to having a cooldown reduction build, because then you'll have rewind fairly frequently. If you're not going for a cooldown reduction build, I highly recommend putting points into rewind in your ultimate whenever possible, much like you might do with other gods. However, if you're building a cooldown build, and a lot of people usually do this within the first couple of items, then I would recommend putting points elsewhere. The cooldown reduction is 10 seconds at a base, but if you've got cooldown reduction gear, then it goes lower and lower to about 7 seconds or so. So you get less of a benefit from putting levels into rewind, and you might actually benefit more from leveling up the other skills before rewind, but you don't want to neglect it either. This is something that you'll want to base on your build and of course your personal preference and playstyle. And with that, let's go ahead and get into a game and see how Chronos plays. Alright, we've found ourselves a match, and much like I do with every god that I first do a video on, I'm going to do the default build. Now, in this case, though, I've turned off auto-buy because I don't want to get caught in the trap that I always get caught in of having a meditate and a sprint and only one potion. That really hurts me at times. So I'm going to use the recommended tab, and I'm just going to go down the line as suggested and do it that way. That way I can still buy potions if I want to. This way we can explore the default build and see how it works and see what Hi-Rez's intentions are with it. And I can still play it a little bit if I need to change things. One of the biggest things is actives, honestly, I've come to find out. The build itself is still important, but if you limit your actives to meditate and sprint without keeping in mind what the enemy team can do, you're going to have a bad time. In this case, for example, if they've got a Finrer, I'm going to need beads. So let's start off with Mark of the Vanguard. That's what they suggest. And then they suggest the shoes. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't tell me which shoes they suggest, be it cooldown or penetration. But we're going to grab that. And for laning, what I'm going to do is grab myself one healing potion and one mana potion, like I typically do. Alright. So it's going to start me off with Accelerate. So that means Accelerate is going to be the ability that it levels up first. Now, I have mixed feelings on this. Accelerate is certainly not a bad ability. But he has several other abilities as well, such as the Time Rift and the Time Stop, that I think it's really going to depend on... Interesting. I think it's going to really depend upon your build on which one's going to be better. Leveling up Time Rift is almost like leveling up Hebo's Water Spout. That's usually recommended, but it does have a delay, so I'm not sure you'll want to do that. It really depends on your build, because your auto attack will definitely gain from your magical power. But the thing about building up the Rift and the Time Stop is that both of them are excellent lane clearing abilities. If you find yourself in a solo lane, for example, maybe mid, you may want to consider leveling up Rift or Time Stop first, just because their damage will eventually start to clear creep lanes for you at minimal mana cost. So we're here trying to get a little bit of sustain. And so with that, oops, I took a little bit of damage, so I'm going to go ahead and heal myself up a little bit. And you can see I've got some nice movement speed here, just kind of dancing around. Even to level 1, that's quite a bit of movement speed. You can see right there I've gained my health back. So really great ability. So Chronos is going to be great for just keeping myself going, and when I eventually need to start poking things, I can use the mana reduction and start using that with Rift. So I've got Time Rift now. And I'm just going to go ahead and do it. There you go. Get a little bit of lane clearance. Alright, going to use my Time Stop on that Xbalanque. You can see it slowed him down and eventually stopped him. Alright, Athena is pulling back. Doing okay so far. So you can see the distance of the Time Rift goes out to about 55 meters, and... Whoops, didn't mean to do that. My number 3, the Time Stop, goes all the way out to 70, so you've got a massive range on that. It is just a little bit shorter than Isis's Stun Ball, but as you can see, a little easier to hit with. Alright, so I'm getting pushed back. I want to clear this lane, so I'm going to wait for Accelerate to get to mana reduction. And then I'm going to go ahead and poke with my 2 clearing abilities while I have that mana reduction.
An enemy has been slain. First,
Makes it a little easier for me to clear the lane, saves me a bit of mana.
an ally has been slain.
So the item they start me off, Mark of the Vanguard, feels a little odd to me. It seems like the builds that they give you as a default build are more for survivability than really doing damage. I think what they want to do is make it so that new players survive a little bit longer. Because honestly, building a Mark of the Vanguard on Chronos seems a little odd to me. I think I would rather have a Vampiric Shroud or just go right for some magical damage with other items. Especially if you're going to solo or mid lane the Vampiric Shroud is probably the better option. So I've got the computer still buying skills for me. Normally I would probably save points and not put them in the rewind, but we all know the auto-buy system is going to buy my ultimate every chance it gets. Accelerate will be the first thing that it levels up for me. This is usually good for if you want to get your attack damage build. I would recommend getting the grip. I forget what the full name of it is. Hold on. Demonic Grip, yes. Demonic Grip is great. It went through a recent change. It used to give you physical damage while reducing their magical damage protections. Really odd. The only god that was really suited for was Freya. But now it's magical damage and magical attacks, or magical damage and attack speed. Okay, time stop. Alright, going back to get some health. And my cooldowns are reset. So that's the beautiful alternative of my rewind, is that it gives me all my cooldowns back. So not only was I able to escape, I used my time stop on them, and then I got my time stop back again after the rewind. And so I could use it again to escape once more. Not doing too bad so far. We managed to get one of them. More like Vamana managed to get one of them. I am struggling to get anybody here now. Uh-oh. Let's go ahead and use Accelerate. Oh, that was nice. I managed to get the mana reduction ability, and I used it to poke. So that was very smart of them, waited to get me alone, and then the Jablonke came in from the side, but I was able to deal with that. So what I'm going to do is going to get a little bit of my health back by using my Accelerate. Now what they used to do is the Section 1, instead of being a health regen, used to be a lifesteal bonus, like a 20% lifesteal, I think. And that could be quite nice once your damage is up. So I decided to just make it a flat healing percentage. Not doing too bad. Looks like I got a decent amount of gold so far. I don't want to pull out right away. I want to try and keep getting experience and gold from the enemy as much as I possibly can. My ultimate is almost up, so I'll be able to use that to get out of a tight spot. I'm out of potions though, so I've got to be very careful. Alright, good job. Use that to regenerate. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and accelerate with some life regen and use the Accelerate's damage to help do damage to the tower. Uh-oh. We gotta be careful then. Good amount of damage on the tower.
Your team has destroyed a right enemy tower.
Now technically I could stay in the tower and keep doing damage and then ult out of it. But I'd have to make sure that I was in there less than 8 seconds or I'm just going to get hit by the tower again. Ooh, he hit me. I'm surprised by that. That's quite a range you've got there, Jabal. Okay, Vamana's returning to base again. I think that means I need to be careful.
Be right back.
So in order to help clear the lane, I'm not doing a lot of damage with my Rift or my time stop, so what I'm probably going to do is try and stop the clock on Section 4 in order to do a bit more damage to the lane. As you can see, it's not a lot more. Uh-oh. Okay. Phew. Alright, I think that's a good time for me to pull out. Alright, so let's get the boots. What should we get? Shall we get cooldown or magical penetration? Let's see what it's going to eventually go to. Looks like it's going to give me Gem Rod. I'm going to get a little bit of penetration here through Obsidian. Doesn't look like I'm going to have any other penetration, so I'm thinking that going cooldown is probably not the best way to go. Let's go ahead and go with penetration then. So we're good there. I've got a decent amount of gold still. Now, if I remember right, yeah, they have a Fenrir, so I'm going to go ahead and buy beads now. And let's go ahead and get level 2, because that's 180 seconds. Consumable, definitely healing, and some mana. I think that's good, 3 and 3. So at rank 4, my accelerate is 20% faster movement and 25 over time, 35% attack speed. Not bad, not bad. As I start getting some magical power, that will really, really start to help. Oh, give me that. Yes, I got the last hit. Give me that. I now have mana. Well, I hit her, but I think the immunity to crowd control at the initial jump means that she didn't get stunned afterwards. I feel like the Shivalanke is not using his ultimate wisely. Okay, let's go ahead and get a little bit of cooldown, or mana return. As you see, you move quite quickly, and you start attacking quite quickly. It is an innate Fatalis. So, quite nice, actually. So, when it comes to attack damage, or magical attack damage, Chronos, Demonic Grip is definitely one I would recommend. I would probably avoid Fatalis. Now, Fatalis is something that works great on someone like Freya, because Freya gets a flat damage buff on her abilities. For every attack she does. So attack damage, or attack speed, sorry, is really good on her. I mean, it basically scales really well. With Chronos, you're better served getting damage, especially because you have a self-steroid or a self-buff in Section 4 that gives you your magical damage added to your auto-attack. And really, the benefit you get from a Fatalis is minimal. I believe with maximum Fatalis, alright, gonna go ahead and poke as much as possible with the mana return buff. I believe you get like 2.3 attacks per second with a Fatalis and Demonic Grip, and it's like 1.9 without it. So honestly, the number of attacks you do in a second increase is not that great. You're still going to go close to 2 attacks per second without a Fatalis. So I don't really think Chronos needs it. I think you're missing out on way too much damage. So what I'm going to do now is buff my auto attack to do as much damage to that tower as I possibly can. As you can see there, I just use my speed to my advantage to get out of there. Chronos is not much of a tower killer, though, because magical damage still seems like it doesn't do a lot to towers. And of course, magical damage can't crit. So you saw there, that was an excellent use of the time stop combo. I tried to use my reverse, and it was too late. So Fenrir came in just in time. Good for him. So it looks like next will be Gem of Isolation. That's fine. Now that will only affect abilities, will not affect my auto attack. Honestly, Gem of Isolation is probably something I would avoid on Chronos. Until the next patch, actually. I've read the patch notes already. They're going to have a dual Gem of Isolation split. One that slows enemies down on abilities, and another that slows enemies down on auto attacks, just like the Frostbound Hammer. But as you may know, because magical gods don't have attack power, attack-based procs don't work. So the Gem of Isolation will be basically the Frostbound Hammer for magical users. So it looks like I can go ahead and get the first part of the gem. Let's buy it now. I suppose it could work, but honestly you move so fast with Chronos, and if you build a cooldown reduction build, I don't really think you would need the hammer too much because you're just going to naturally slow them down. It could certainly work. Gem of Isolation is a very good item to have for most mages, honestly. Just synergizes really well, giving you that magical power, giving you a slow that you can use. But by no means do I think it is a requirement for Chronos. As you see right there, I just practically cleared that whole lane with that ability now with my Time Rift, which is now at level 3. Alright, let's go ahead and move out of the way of the charge. I've got She-Ball Athena coming in. Alright, I've got a rank 4 on my Time Rift, so we're doing pretty good here. Alright, Vimana's back. Let's see if we can't push on these guys. Okay, right lane got pushed back a bit, but uh-oh. Whoops. Thank you for the body block there, Vimana. I appreciate it. That's actually very good of him to do that. Alright. I need a little bit of life back, so what I'm probably going to do is activate my life return as we push forward. Okay, gotta wait a couple seconds, and now. My life return, thankfully, was counteracting that poison very nicely and allowed me to do a bit more damage to the lane. So you can see that there's a lot of sustain. Chronos is a highly sustainable god, especially with the ultimate. I mean, you're basically going to be rolling back damage quite a bit. Alright, use my mana reduction to my advantage. I wasn't going in for a kill, so I didn't want to increase my damage. I wanted to increase my mana efficiency. Alright, let's move with the mana. It's like Ao Kuang in mid there, pulling back into his tower. Don't know what Vimana is going to try. I think he's going to try and cut him off, but I don't think that he was weak enough, was he? No, it doesn't look like it. Uh-oh. I'm going to have a hard time getting in there. Alright, let's go back. Getting stuck between towers as Chronos is not a good idea. Oh, back we go. And that right there is a perfect example of why Chronos is an excellent tower diving god. Alright, let's go ahead and potion up and get out of here. Uh-oh. Fenrir chasing down Vimana. I was able to damage him, but he's getting protected by Athena there. Gonna try and time stop her in the tower. Unfortunately, I was not able to. Let's chase her down with some attack damage. Ah, no! She got away. A little more damage, I might be able to make that work. So the time stop rift combo is really, really useful. Since it is a little hard to hit moving enemies with this time rift because of delay, one really good combo is to do your time stop and then put the rift underneath them after they've been stopped. Definitely works out. Of course, if you can time it right, then excellent, but if you can't... this guy's level 16. I'm not going to be able to do too much about that. Let's go ahead and get some life regen. poke the lane. There we go. Okay, Chronos is going out to the right. Let's see if I can't... I don't want to move while that's on me. Okay. Athena's in the left. I see him. Ooh, Jibal is going to get the left tower. That's not good. Alright, let me clear this middle lane. As you can see, it's kind of difficult as Chronos a little early. Chronos gets better as you can get the attack speed up. Honestly, I feel it's kind of a failing of this build. They don't give you any attack speed. Demonic Grip would be fantastic, because not only would Demonic Grip give you the attack speed you need, but it also gives you penetration, because every time you hit the enemy, they take more magical damage. So this, honestly, I don't know why they built it this way. I mean, it kind of makes sense. The mark of the Vanguard is to help with your sustain. I can understand that, as you know, you can heal yourself over time, so taking a little less damage is a great idea. But then they go on to give you the boots, and then give you the gem and the rod. They basically build you as a damage god, but with one defensive item. So I guess they want to give you early sustain and then move on to damage. I don't know. It seems like a very odd thing to do to a beginning player, I guess, because it can be kind of confusing to them to think that this would be a good idea all the time. Alright, so what I'm going to do... I've got quite a bit of money, but not enough to get the gem. Alright, let's just wait, because I can get a level 3 Gem of Isolation, and that will help me. Alright, left tower definitely taking quite a bit of damage. We've lost our first tier, but they are about to lose the second tier. Oh, Neith goes down in the left-hand lane. Poseidon is running away. Looks like Poseidon, he's down about 25%, so he should be safe. Going to come over here, try and help him out. Ao Kuang is doing the chase, but let's cut him off. I wasn't able to hit him, but I was able to deter him from chasing. Alright. Let's go ahead and... Uh-oh. Use the... Oh! Didn't work. Okay, so one downside to Chronos' ultimate is that while you're charging it up, you're still able to be hit. Until you rewind into the ball, you will still take damage. So using the ultimate sooner rather than later is better. And unfortunately, I thought that it shielded me for a little bit of damage at the beginning. It looks like I was wrong. But it does make you immune to CC for that beginning start. So you can't be CC'd out of it, but you can still take damage and they can kill you before it goes off. Kind of like ultimate from Thor or Apollo. They've got a few seconds to charge it up, although Chronos' charge up is really much shorter than those other gods. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and grab the full Gem of Isolation. We're going to have to be careful. We really need to group up. We're not doing so hot on this one. Looks like we're ahead on kills. That's good. We are down on farm, though, by about 2,000, almost 3,000 gold, actually. So we'll have to be careful there. We are even on towers, so that means they are definitely ahead of us on gold. Let's see, are they building Midas? Yes, they have at least one god with Midas boots, so that will definitely help them with the money situation. We need to group up, that is for sure. Alright, middle lane taking on Kuang and Chronos. Left lane here is just Jibal. They just got the Gold Fury. This is not looking good for our side. Let's see what we can do. We've got a little bit of damage now. I've got the Isolation Gem, so I want to hit the enemy as much as possible with some abilities. Looks like Athena has decided to join Jibal in his lane. Alright. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And rewind. That worked in my favor. Oh my goodness, did that work in my favor. So the idea there was to run down the lane and force them to chase me, and then the moment Fenrir popped his ultimate, tried to bite me, I just rewound back, and just right back to my old position, and they just weren't able to catch up again. So very versatile ultimate this god has. Alright, let's try and get my... Oh, I think he's... yeah. Most unfortunate. Okay. Well, let's see what we can do. It looks like we've got the four of us left. Me, Neith. Nope, three of us. Me, Neith. Nope, 4, Vamana and Poseidon. Okay. All 4 of us moving left. Nausea is down. Looks like we've got 3 here in the left-hand side. It'll be very difficult to push on that tower. Let's see if we can't get a time stop on somebody. Uh-oh. Taking a bit of damage from that Chronos. Ah, get out of there. Oh no, stunned and killed by Fenrir. Yeah, I was picked out of a crowd, wasn't I? Oh well, this won't go too hot, I don't think. We really need to get some initiation in there. We were playing back a bit. So let's see what's going on. Fenrir nearly dead. Shibal nearly dead. Shibal goes down though. Fenrir is going to survive as he escapes through the tower. Athena giving him a little bit of protection. Vamana trying to chase, not going to quite get there. Looks like Poseidon's going to kill Athena, but going to go down to the tower. How unfortunate. Nausea is able to escape before taking too much damage. Ao Kuang comes back to defend the tower. Nausea staying in the tornado. Very bad there, taking about a quarter of health from one tornado. Nausea can take that tower down, but Ao Kuang has the push to keep the enemy out. We will not be able to get our creep into that tower. Vamana having to retreat, taking a lot of damage from that Ao Kuang. Sprinting to get away. Looks like he was trying to lead someone to Nausea, but he's just going to run away. Nausea is going to be on his own at this point. Nausea, you're not going to be able to run away from Fenrir, unfortunately. It looks like you're down to a quarter of your health. Not going to see you get away with that. Unfortunately, when it comes to Fenrir versus Nausea, the best thing you can really do is turn around and fight. One of the best things is if Fenrir is gnawing on you and you're Nausea, is to basically turn around and stun him. If you can knock him out of Brutalize, you've just reduced his damage by quite a bit. So our endeavor to take on the left tower did not succeed. There are only 3 of us up at this time. Now Poseidon's going to come up in 5 seconds. It's going to help us out, but Nausea's down for another 40. So we need to try and make a push somewhere. We're going to have to be very careful about it. So here we have Ao Kuang in middle lane. Vamana not quite making a push, but Ao Kuang is being very cautious regardless. I do not blame him. There are 2 of us in the lane right now. They have all of their gods up, so we are definitely behind at this point. Kills are starting to catch up. They are 1 kill behind. Can we... Uh-oh. I saw you behind me. So I saw Fenrir just barely on the map, and I ran away from him and was able to put a slow stun on him. Uh-oh. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Uh-oh. That's bad, that's bad, that's bad. Taking damage from the tornado. Not good at all. Alright, so what I'm trying to do is make sure that my wheel lines up with the attack damage to be able to do more damage against the enemy. It's not always going to work. Sometimes I'm going to have to pop the wheel without knowing what I'm going to get out of it, just so I can move quickly. Oh, Athena, Athena. It's annoying. Alright, Athena going right, Ao Kuang right, Chronos right. Oh, they might be going for Fire Giant. Let's just let everybody know I see that. We got 3 in the lane, 2 in the right. I don't know if they'll be capable of taking him out alone. Fenrir's level 20. Yeah, they've got level 20s over there. They are definitely going to make it. I'm only level 15. This is going to definitely hurt. That Ao Kuang, as a matter of fact, is level 20. I am way behind compared to him. No wonder he's hurting me so much. Alright, let's try and get into the group fight here. I think I'm going to need to pop the health regen. Alright. Oh, jeez. Our guy's really hurt. See them running away. Doesn't look like... There we go. Couple hits. But that a very tanky Athena there, not able to take her out. Jabal being very liberal on the ultimate. He is really pouring it on. So let's try and get a little bit of farm here. I'm going to get the auto attack buff. Try and take these guys out, give me a little bit of farm. Being behind in level compared to the enemy team, I definitely need to do what I can to catch up. I am now level 16. I am on par with their Athena, but way behind everybody else. If we look at the levels, oh no, that's bad. Poseidon left, didn't even catch that. So they've got 2 20s and a 19. We have 120, 119, and an 18. Not doing so hot. I am definitely the one underneath everybody else. So not doing so hot with this build. That's okay. We will continue to run it. Next will be the Rod of Tahuti. Tahuti. Yes. And with the rod, we shall gain even more power for our auto attack. And it shall be glorious. So, team a bit spread apart. It's only 4 on 5, and so we are gonna have to be careful here. Sheepball in left. Looks like Vamana is going after him. Looks like Nausea is going to help. Yeah, man. Kill it. Kill it with fire. Or time waves, whatever it is you kill things will. Oh, wow. Neath in the right side lane. Getting ambushed by 2 gods and out 3 gods in the right-hand lane. Neath did not survive that attack. Went in way too deep by herself. Good news is that 2 towers in the right lane are down at this point. 1 tower in the left is down. 2nd tower in the left is nearly down. Middle lane is also down a tower. So this puts us ahead in towers at the direct moment, but this game is not going to get very far being down a god. We might be able to pick up a little bit of slack, but when it comes down to team fighting, unless we absolutely outplay the enemy team, we are going to go down in the blaze of Time Lord glory. Alright. 260 plus 102 damage on my Time Rift. Not bad. 70 plus 48. And that happens twice. So that brings about 200 damage on Time Stop. Uh-oh. Come on, come on, come on. Uh-oh. You see, I've got a few seconds of downtime between accelerates, and if I had cooldown reduction, it would easily be just a second. Vamana is fighting up there. I really need to get to him. I am... Well, it looks like Shibal is pulling back. Alright, let's get a little bit of life back. Let me go ahead and poke a little bit. As you can see, doing a decent amount of damage to the creep. Vamana's gone back, so I'm going to do what I can to attack this tower. I'm going to try and get the... There it is. Auto attack damage buff. That should allow me to quickly take the tower down. Uh-oh. Okay, let's slow Fenrir down and get him into a stop. And then the moment I can accelerate again, I should be able to outrun him. Yeah, okay, good. He did not chase, it looks like. So, good. Fenrir putting the hurt on my Chronos, but I was able to stun him and then accelerate away. Oh, or not. Aha, very tricky, Mr. Fenrir. Very tricky. I should have kept running. Well, that's not good. I applaud him for that one. I thought he was gone, but I shouldn't have taken it for granted. I should have gone all the way back to a tower of some sort. Well, well played to you, sir. Well played to you. Now, the good news, though, well, never mind. They had lost a player, but they're back. So this is definitely unfortunate. Wow. I just realized that I went into solo queue. I've got a 3-man team. They've got a 3-man team as well. Man, no wonder I'm getting clobbered. Oh, he's back. Oh my goodness, he's back. We might be okay. We might be okay. Alright. I can get a level 2 Rod of Tahuti. This is excellent. This is excellent. Okay. Let's get a healing potion. I will be able to afford, it looks like, 2 healing potions by the time I'm able to get back into the fray. Oh, wow. Vamana getting hit by 3 different gods right in the center. Neath trying to provide cover fire. Vamana using his giant form in order to get some life back. It looks like he is able to get away. It looks like only Chronos is fighting. Yeah, well, if they both turn around and take on Chronos, they could probably kill him. Well, he probably used his ultimate, but it would have been worth a shot to drive him and force him to use his ultimate at the very least. So unfortunately, probably better though to play the defensive card like they did. They had no idea if the enemy team would pounce on them if they decided to turn around. Now we're all up though. Unfortunately, all of them are up as well. So we're going to have to play this cautiously. Oh, Vamana going down to the Ao Kuang ultimate. Alright, going to push here into the right. Let's see if we can't get on that Ao Kuang. Going to go into the accelerate mode, push forward. All these fire creep. We need to catch up. Let's go ahead and put a stun on that Kuang. Oh, it's not enough. Okay, I'm able to chase and do some damage, but unfortunately wasn't able to slow him down. So quite unfortunate. Uh-oh, we've got a Fenrir in the left jungle. I just saw him. I need to pull back because I don't have any assistance in any way to knock him off of me. Unfortunately, that means Neath just went down to that Fenrir. Let's go ahead and put a time stop on this lane. Oh. I'm being chased by multiple gods, so I'm going to accelerate and pray. Oh my goodness. To the tower, to the tower. Kuang is going to hit me with an ability, so I'm kind of juking him. There's Fenrir. Coming to the tower, yes. There's the stun. There's the stun. There's the time rift. And there's the tower getting me a kill. Oh, wow, I almost didn't get that time rift off in time. I slipped, I panicked. But I was able to stun him in the tower, and it let the tower help me get that kill. Time rift definitely doing a number on him. So let's see if we can't go here into the left. We've got Athena. Looks like Athena returning. Left lane appears to be empty. So we've got both the left and the right lanes cleared out. As you can see right there, that is why Time Rift might be a good idea to level up if you want some lane clearance. It's got a wide range. It goes out to the full 70 meters, and it can completely decimate the creep wave in one attack. So let's help this Naja with this creep here. Give me a little bit of money and experience as well. I do love the fact that the items drop now, because now you don't have to worry about who gets the last hit. And part of the problem with worrying about who gets the last hit means that usually people will stop attacking, and then the person that needs to get the last hit starts taking unnecessary damage because they're being cautious. Oh, killed by the Kuang dragon. This Ao Kuang is doing a number on us. Oh, yes! Oh, I missed with the Rift, but I was able to make him use his Aegis. Oh, this Athena nearly dead. Let's come on, give me attack damage, give me attack damage. Excellent, got it. Uh-oh. Come on, come on, come on! Oh, too late. I tried to use the ultimate in order to avoid death by Fenrir. Unfortunately, I became the dog's chew toy. Speaking of chew toys, oh, he's got Vamana in his grip. Oh, in the ultimate combination with Athena on Vamana, just tearing him apart. Actually, I believe the ultimate did not hit him. I believe Athena missed, but that was still enough to kill the Vamana. Unfortunately, that is a deicide, and that is going to give them all the time they need to take out the Fire Giant. Now, the good news is because they're focusing on the Fire Giant, we have a chance to get a slight comeback here. If they would have attacked in the right lane altogether, they could have killed the Minotaur. All but one of them is level 20. If the three of them would have come in, they could have at least done a decent amount of damage. But they decided to go for the Fire Giant. As we can see here, their health bars are really low. They're really hurting there. Athena is nearly dead. It looks like Athena is going to be able to pull back home. Looks like they killed the Giant, but most of them were close to dying. So this was a very risky maneuver on their part, it looks like. I still think that they would have been better served maybe killing one or two Phoenixes. They could have gone for the Minotaur, could have gone for a Phoenix. A lot of people overvalue the Fire Giant. He's certainly a nice buff to have, but when you've got a lot of time available to you and the enemy team is dead, getting as much permanent push as you can is usually a good idea. Alright, so we're going to move into the right lane. We're going to try and stop this fire creep from advancing. So let's go ahead and do a time stop into a rift. clear out this fire creep. Now the good thing about the fire creep is that it is a good source of experience.
An enemy has left the game.
Alright. Ooh, they are down one player. Who are they down? They are down their Chronos. Yeah, well.
Retreat, right lane.
Alright, I got my mana reservation. Didn't really mean to get that one. It just so happened to be what I landed on. Alright, let's clear these guys. Alright, I'm not going to push too far ahead. That's moved up to about halfway. And it should buy my Phoenix enough time to regenerate. If not, I can always come back and defend. So that is a good push. Looks like... Uh-oh, who just went down? Oh, Athena going down. Quite nice. Naja taking Ao Kuang into the air. Let's push with a little bit of speed. Unfortunately, it looks like it's not enough to catch up to the Slither. However, I can now get Ao Kuang with my time stop. Uh-oh, there goes the ult, and he's able to take me out. Unfortunately, my teammates did not follow suit. There was a Neith right by me that could have helped chase the Ao Kuang, but unfortunately she did not. That denied me the plausible kill. If we would have had that teamwork going, we could have taken down an enemy team member. It looks like Fenrir is also going to get away. It looks like this team is suffering from a lack of coordination. So we are really going to have to try and pull that together. Well, ooh, there you go. Very nice retreat by that Chronos, getting his life all the way back. He's going to try and chase the Vamana, but this may be a very bad move on his part because, ooh, there you go. Poseidon doing a ton of damage with the Kraken. Oh, and kill stolen by Naja. Wow. Now, kill stealing, you know, I don't really care about kill stealing, especially when you're level 20. But that was definitely Poseidon's kill. That was his kill. It should have been his reward, but that's okay. As long as the enemy died, that is the most important thing. Now they're going to have to push on that right. Unfortunately, it looks like the Phoenix still down. I guess they maybe killed it again. I did not see what happened there. Well, here's hoping they can pull together. I will try and do my best to stick with them. I really thought we were going to get that Ao Kuang. With Neith intercepted him and drove him into the right side, I thought we were both going to chase him, and it just didn't happen. I knew if he threw his ultimate I was dead, but I figured helping to get the kill was better than not, and then unfortunately I found out that the sacrifice was in vain. I kind of hate it when that happens, but you can't predict your teammates all the time. Unfortunately, I'm not able to get the Obsidian Shard at this time, so we're going to go ahead and move on. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and sell this Mark of the Vanguard. It's late game at this point. Let's sell it and go ahead and start on the Shard, because that will give me magical power and a little bit of penetration, which is more important than the Vanguard at this point. And I'm already taking so much damage that 5 reduction in damage is not a lot. Not really enough to keep me alive. So knowing when to sell, definitely a good point. Oh, let's move, let's move, let's move. Our allies are getting pushed. Naja has Athena in the air. I think he's going to get her. Yes, gets her. Very nice job. Naja really low on health. That was a clutch kill. Very nice job. All right, Chronos and Ao Kuang, the only two up. Let's push on this lane, get it going. Now, as you can see from how much that time rift cost, Chronos is a very mana-efficient god. So not only is he sustainable through his passive, but as he levels up, his abilities don't really take a lot of mana either. So if I use my time stop, you can see there, that's not a lot of damage, or not a lot of damage, a lot of mana taken up. So what I'm going to do here is I'm probably going to use my ultimate to do a chase on these guys. Let's just run through the tower. Oh, wow. Well, I wasn't able to move in, but I'm not going to use my ult at this point. It took quite a bit of damage getting here, but that's okay. Tower is down. Excellent work. We now have all of their towers. We still have 2 towers. They did not push on either side. Oh, geez, getting hit by the time stop. That's not good. Let's pull back a little bit. And what I'm going to try and do is, let's get a little bit of life back. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Chronos My Chronos is nearly dead. The Fenrir Athena ultimate combination really working for them. Let's see, Athena and Fenrir not on the same team, possibly, but they are definitely working together very well. Man. Yeah, that popping the ultimate on Fenrir's ultimate is very nice, but I think there's a problem with that. It looks like Athena's ultimate is just outside the range of the god that's being carried in his mouth, especially when he's moving full speed. I think for that to work... Oh, we got Fire Giant, nice. I think for that to work, they really need to... What? Did she... Oh, Naja. Nice. She like went up in the air. I didn't even see it. I'm like, where the hell did she go? She like disappeared. That was awesome. Okay, great. Fire Giant and a couple kills, which means I've got a ton of money. I can actually finish my gem. Fantastic. All right, what else is recommended? Oh, the Polynomicon. Excellent. So this is a pretty good item for Chronos because it allows you, when you use your Accelerate, to get a bit of your magical power on the first hit. That, and you get a little bit of magical steal, which is great because magical gods, or gods that do magical damage in their auto attacks now, get 100% lifesteal scaling. So when you've got a whole bunch of movement speed on your Accelerate and then lifesteal, you will be highly sustainable and survivable. Chronos, still kind of squishy though. So, whew, wow, match going for a good 45 minutes here. Wow. At least it's a good fight. This has been a really good fight. I don't feel like I'm doing too bad. 3 and 6 for a squishy god using a build I don't really believe in, but that's neither here nor there. We're doing all right. Our team as a whole, 34-34. We are even on kills, 34-34. 75,000 gold to their 83, which means they are still ahead on gold. But here's the thing, is they still got one guy wearing Midas boots, so, well, that could be bad for us, actually, because the moment they switch from Midas boots, they'll be a bit more powerful. Alright, middle tower's down. They are rushing to defend the right. Let's go ahead and try and do a little damage to this creep line. Uh-oh. Alright. Whoops! I meant to turn around to do that. Let's go ahead and get out of here. Oh, I tried to dash to the side, didn't quite work. Oh, Athena getting me with her ability combo. Yep, that's my own. Oh man, another deicide. Yeah, they're ahead on kills now. We did okay. I think we did okay. There was definitely some teamwork issues on that. I don't think we're going to die just yet. They're going to focus, it looks like, on towers right now. We lost. We had the Fire Giant. We just completely lost it. They are going to spend a lot of time clearing towers, and that time it looks like Naja and Neith will be able to come up. The rest of us, though, are going to remain down. Left Phoenix about to go down. They're Fenrir in middle lane, it looks like, so they are not pushing with full strength. They don't have any creep in the area, so they're not going to be able to push on the Minotaur too hard without taking losses. Oh, very good. They are pulling back. They did not get our middle Phoenix, although they're going to turn around and try to. Neith taking a bunch of damage from that tornado. Naja running around it like a champion. Moving forward, protecting the middle... Pretending to protect? I don't know. Naja is a little kid. Probably playtime. Well, you know, that's how it works. Protecting the middle tower. It looks like... Where are we going here? We've got Neith going right, Poseidon, Naja going middle, who is still down, Vamana, and 3 up in 3 seconds, so we will have everybody. Alright, let's move on. We're going to get the first part of the Polynomicon. I do need a second active item at this point, although I haven't even used my first one too much. Our Vamana has a good full set of items. He needs to sell that Mark of the Vanguard and get something else at this point. See, there you go. I just cleared a group of creep with the time stop. Very nice. Very nice indeed. I am going to push on the left, because here's the thing. We've got fire creep pushing on the left. Letting them go forward is not going to help. They will, if we don't keep on the defensive and keep them back, eventually they're going to take out the giant. As you can see, I got a pretty decent auto attack now, especially with my quadrant 4 lit up. I'm doing about 166 damage a hit. On my own, it's 81, so it's not too bad. Oh, they're pushing on the Phoenix. They're way up there. Oh dear. Okay, Xbalanque is pretty low. Can I intercept? Uh-oh. Chronos is chasing. Let's go ahead and get out of here. Well, there I go. All 4 of them went right into lane. It took me out. Damn, not friendly at all. Now I'm not doing so hot. I was doing better until these last few deaths. Oh, man. Trying to push the fire creep is, you know, a noble goal, but unfortunately without any assistance I was definitely overextended at that point, so definitely my own fault. I will need to keep some movement items, I think, in order to make sure that I can get away in the future. Maybe some sprinting wouldn't hurt or something like that. Kind of hard to decide at this point because I haven't really needed the beads. Fenrir hasn't had to pick me up, he's just been brutalizing me. I might consider meditation for healing, but usually I die before something like that would really be beneficial to me, so the question is what kind of active would I want? And at this point, I have to admit, I'm not entirely sure. A combat blink could help me get away. That's certainly an option. Alright, well, I'll continue to think about it. Looks like I'm the only one down at the moment, and I'll have to come back up. This match going on much longer than I anticipated. We do not have the team fight coordination. They do, but they don't have the coordination to end it. If they did, it would have been over by now. They had the opportunity more than once now to end this game, and they haven't. So the question is, are they not capable of doing it? Do they not have the drive to do it? Or are they simply trying to farm for worshippers knowing that they've got the game in hand? A good question. Well, they're going for Fire Giant again? Seems kind of silly. Alright, well, they probably got it. Yep, they did. I need to move with a group, though. I am too squishy to be able to take anything out on my own. And we are all over the place. Alright, we got 3 in the middle, 2 in the left. Looks like, who is that? Kwong and Fenrir in the left. Looks like Kwong is going to try and come this way. Uh-oh. Damn. Oh, yeah, this isn't working out. Oh, man. Tried to help with that kill, it just didn't work out. Well, it looks like we did manage to get their Chronos. That is a minor victory. It looks like we got a pretty good fight going on here. Fenrir, Ao Kwong in the middle. If they focus on that Ao Kwong, they can take him out. He's really low on life. But, oh, there we go. Vamana was able to take out Ao Kwong. Fenrir running away. 2 bars of life. Athena down to half, but still managing to kill another one of our gods. Looks like Vamana is going to take out Athena here, chasing him down with Neith. Neith putting on the stuns. Athena doing everything in her power to run away with the dash. Doesn't look like Vamana and Neith are going to be able to catch up, though. Athena running away, able to get away. Oh, Vamana chasing with the dash, but looks like she's got her own dash. Neith missed with the stun. There's the slow from Vamana. Vamana popping the ultimate. Might get the kill. It's close. There's the kill. Vamana still has quite a bit of health, regenerating what was done by Fenrir. Very nice gank right there with the solo Vamana. Very nice assist from Neith. Able to do a couple stuns, but missing a few later on. So very nice work by those two together to take out that Athena. Uh-oh, unfortunately, it looks like we are neglecting the Minotaur, so I came back right in time to help him out. Ooh, doggy, this match going along 52 minutes. I feel like I'm rambling at this point. I don't even know if what I'm saying is making sense because I just want to not die. Okay. Get my wits about me. I really want some attack speed. I just feel like that would really be nice. Oh, man. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do, because the recommended tab does not have something recommended for your 6th item because it thinks you're going to keep the mark, I'm going to go ahead and get the demonic grip. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to make it part of my build. Alright, let's go ahead and get some attack speed while we're here. Able to sustain myself with my auto attack lifesteal. It's kind of nice. It's honestly nice that mages can do this now, whereas it used to be something only the purview of melee or physical gods in general. So very nice. All right, so what are we doing? We got 3 of us in lane: Poseidon, Naja, myself, Neith in the left, Vamana way ahead, way overextended, but Vamana is a tank and can survive that kind of punishment. So not really a big deal at this time, but he's going to have to be careful because if they all decide to focus on him. Oh, okay. Fenrir pushes on me, but runs away with his ultimate. That's a little odd. I was able to get a little bit of life back using my Quadrant 1 combined with a potion. Yeah, someone's asking Neith to kind of come over here. I don't blame him. But Neith is trying to protect our Minotaur from the fire creep. I don't think that it's a bad idea. The Minotaur can die to too much fire creep. Usually 1 lane's not enough to do it. It usually takes 2, but I wouldn't want to risk it. Looks like Fenrir going left. Fenrir is taking their attack damage buff, so that's going to hurt us. I'm in middle with Naja. Vamana has gone to the fire giant. Poseidon coming up from the middle. Neith still pushing on the left. So we are very much split. This is not a good position to be in, especially with me as Chronos. I am not a vanguard. I am a squishy. I'm squishy. I die quickly. Me and Naja, not the best. No, we will both die quickly. Actually, even Poseidon. Thankfully, Poseidon can do a lot of slowing and damage with his Kraken. Not bad, not bad. We need Vamana, honestly. We need our tank because none of us are able to survive very many hits. So we're pulled back. All 4. Where's the 5th one? Where's their 5th? Ah, Fenrir's in left. Okay. And someone was in right. I saw someone in right jungle. Alright, let's do this. Vamana pushing. Uh-oh, able to dodge that Ao Kuang cannon. I couldn't see what was going on there, but thankfully at the last second I was able to pull out. Uh-oh, Fenrir's coming. Let's go ahead and stun stop him. Oh, wow, I stopped him, but I took way too much damage. Did I help kill? Yes, I got an assist on Fenrir, so even though I died, I was able to help kill one of them. So it has been an eye for an eye so far. Athena really low. They need to push on him. Chronos is down. Good work. Didn't get to see that one, unfortunately. Ao Kuang pushing with quite a bit of health. They really need to focus on those squishies. Athena moving into the left jungle. Vamana running into a wall for whatever reason. Oh, Shibalanke going down to Neith. Oh, he uses his Aegis, and it's enough to help Ao Kuang put down a defensive tornado. Shibalanke going to get away to that wonderful teamwork right there. Aegis, excellent idea. Teamwork is what works, folks. Alright, Shibal able to go, and it looks like Poseidon's chasing Kuang, but he's not going to be able to stop him. The tornado blocking his path. Usually not a good idea to run in that willfully, unless you know you can get it, and he was far too deep into enemy territory. So at this point, we are down 1-1. Unfortunately, we are down 1-1 because of Vamana getting disconnected. Hopefully, he will make it back. He's part of the other 3-man team, so I don't think he's gone intentionally. I figure he will be back. After all, they haven't tried to surrender. Going on near an hour here, folks. I'm just as shocked as you are. Alright, Polynomicon, we have that now. That is great. And I'm going to start getting Demonic Grip next, because this is really good for a magical attack damage-based god. Fantastic for Freya now, especially with the magical damage giving you a nice contribution. Magical protection going down. So with the auto-attacking changes they're making, this is a fantastic change to this. Really, the fact that it was physical before was just not really a great idea. So we're going to get some attack speed, reduce target protections. You want me to hold left? All right. Okay, I'll try. I will hold it against the fire creep. I don't know why our Phoenix hasn't come back up yet. It's probably gone up and down a couple times, so that's... Oh, man. Alright, there we go. Looks like they're all going to Fire Giant. They're definitely trying to protect it from the enemy team. Oh no, there goes 2 allies. It's just me and Poseidon, and it looks like Poseidon is getting chased by Athena. Anyone else after him doesn't look like it, but I can't push up too far. I'm going to have to stay back at this point. I'll let the fire creep move forward to a certain point. I'm going to come back. There's only 2 of us. This is precarious time right now. We really need to work together. If we can get some of their squishy gods like this Ao Kuang, we might be okay. Poseidon being distracted by Athena. I feel like our team is focusing on Athena a lot. Like we're focusing on the tanks. If they could focus on the squishies instead... Yep, there he goes. See, there is the problem. They, I'm sorry, I'm not defending the fire giant by myself. Get that accelerate going. Let's go ahead and clear this. Whew, alright. I really need to keep this defended. It's giving me a good amount of gold, though. That is the one nice thing about Fire Creep. Enemies in middle lane. So I'm definitely seeing a lot of focusing on a tank, like Athena. I mean, getting a tank down is nice, but honestly, the squishies are the most important, especially because the squishies are the one doing the damage. Uh-oh, they are pushing on the right. And there it goes. Well, we are now down to 1 Phoenix. And I'm dead. Yeah, that's... Well, I didn't get to add the demonic rip. I'm pretty sure this is going to end it. Oh, wow, nice Kraken. Quite a bit of damage to the enemy team, however. They are coordinated this time. Yep, there it goes. There is the Minotaur. The enemy's team's coordination was just much better than our own. Quite unfortunate. 10, 12 kills up on us. And what is this? 94 to 113. Wow. 23,000 gold up on my team. Shame. But I feel fairly good about where I was with Chronos. Again, not the build I would have done, and that was certainly, as you can see, not the strongest. 3 and 11, obviously pretty bad, but was able to help out on a few times, get 6 assists. Oh well. Good match all around. Enemy's Fenrir really, I think, carried that for a good majority of that, but their Ao Kuang, of course, did very well. Their team as a whole did well, but as you can tell, Fenrir definitely pushing the boundaries on that, getting most of the kills. Our Poseidon pushing most of it for our side. So overall, I would say the big difference here was definitely the team coordination, and it looked to me like a lot of focusing on tanks. We just didn't quite have it on our end. It still felt good. That's Chronos. I'm going to build him a little differently now. And let's see if I can do a little bit better with him. He is an interesting god, definitely has some interesting mechanics. Love his ultimate. There were a few times I would have loved to have gotten away with it, but unfortunately I just took way too much damage. And I... This is the best losing win. Oh, nice. Just make him dance. It's beautiful. Pat on the head. Yeah. Yeah. I hate you too, Cyclops. I hate you too. Well, that was my hour-long match with Chronos, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.